Good night, good night, good night. And what a night it is. What a day it was. Today we had the Doha Diamond League in Qatar. And what a event that was. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce had told us the day before at the press conference that she was in good shape and she has been training or feeling good, or it's the first time in 3 years she had felt so good. She ran 11.06 to finish fourth in that women's 100 meters. Tonight, we will have a special guest, you know, Joe, and we'll be looking back on the event today. We'll talk about some of the highs, we'll talk about some of the lows if there was any. But this is a nice time to introduce our guests for tonight. Joe, how you doing?
Yes, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing great,
Midday.
Joe. You
Yeah, me.
there? Yeah, Joe is a Jamaican. If you don't know him, you know him now. Joe is a Jamaican. Joe, tell us today, what was the highlight for you from the Doha Diamond League?
Well, I have to say, definitely the 100 meters, going one, two, and four. I mean that in having the world lead. Now I'm only talking with Jamaicans because I only deal with Jamaican performances, to be honest with you. So,
Hmm.
but then the other thing is my passion is field events, and to see Shanika do her season best and jump that she was leading at her third jump was the best, and then after the last three nobody really did anything on their last three jumps. So but it was really strange to see. I've never seen in a triple jump event like this where the wind was, most of the jumps were plus point 0.3 and over. So I've never seen anything. I mean, it didn't even change. It didn't even fluctuate. It just kept going. So um, that happens. The fact that she beat the Olympic champion. So I mean, that was my highlight with that. But like I said, I'm passionate for the jumps. And
And
you know,
as you talk about the jumps, Joe, and you're talking about Shanika Ricketts, we have that result on the screen here. Shanika Ricketts was 14.72, and the win
14.72, 3.2 wind. Yes.
3.2 win. And when you look at the second place finisher, um, Lafont was 14.29, and we had
Yes.
this very strong win there too. I think that win was something like about 5 point something.
Yes. I will say one thing about the when the wind is going like that, if it changes, it's hard to keep a mark. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You have to
Yes.
adjust for the marks because it, it's it's hard because it changes. Every jump changes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And of course, as you talk about Shanika Ricketts, Joe, after that performance today, which is her season best
It's the season
performance,
best. Yes.
she spoke to reporters after. Let us hear what she had to say.
It's always really nice to see you on the top of the podium, and you look so relaxed, confident. So how was it going for you? Can you tell us through the competition?
I think I'm at the stage of my career where I'm just enjoying the sport. Tonight was really good. I think we had so much support on the runway in terms of the crowd, and I just used their energy and used it to fuel myself going into the pit.
You always look very calm, very focused. Is it really you, or do you feel something else inside?
I think it's internal. I'm a very relaxed person, and I credit it mostly to my faith because I know that it doesn't matter what happens, I'm always going to be all right. So I'm always chill.
We kind of used to seeing you winning medals. So I bet the next of your goals is to win another medals this year. Is that true?
Yes, definitely. Every season the aim is to be on top of the podium. This season is nothing different, and I think I have too many silver medals now. I'm going for the gold this time.
Definitely. What will be the recipe to win it actually? Did you learn something in Paris when you obviously were second?
Yes, I think it's just about grit and just putting in the work. It doesn't matter what happens before you go into major championships, it's just what happens on the day. And the only way you can control that is by being consistent. So that's what I'm focused on doing.
It was pretty hot in here, Jet Tour Doha Diamond League, but in Jamaica it's also hot. So did you like this competition?
Yes, I love it. The heat, it doesn't affect me that much because, as you said, in Jamaica it's very hot. So I feel like I'm at home.
Welcome home and see you next year.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Welcome home. She feels
Mm.
as if she was at home, Joe. I don't know, Joe, but I've been to Qatar twice, and I can tell you, not even Santa Cruz in Saint Elizabeth is hot as Qatar. It's
I heard.
extremely hot there.
I heard it's
Nowhere, yeah,
very, very hot.
nowhere compared to Jamaica. But as I said, and Shanika Ricketts said, it felt as if she was at home. So that was Shanika Ricketts. As we mentioned earlier, winning the women's triple jump. And she also said, Joe, that this year, she's tired of getting the silver and the bronze. She's
Yeah,
going
she
for
says she
gold.
has too many silver medals. She's going for the gold this time. And I believe
Mhm,
it. I think Carrie's doing a great job with her. I watched those two at Penn Relays and just their interactions and the adjustments they make and everything. And I think they're on the right track, her coach and her. So
husband, coach, and her.
husband coaching her, yes.
Yes. And how difficult do you think, though? I mean, that shouldn't be difficult for husband coach working relationship. You don't
No,
think?
no, no, no. That's why I didn't even bring it up. When it's
Hmm.
when I saw them when it's on the runway and that it's purely business. It's
Hmm.
there's nothing. There's a serious vibe.
Hmm.
You
And
know
and it has worked. Her coach, as we said, is her husband, and they work very well together. And if you don't know, you don't know, because when they're out there, it's, as you said, strictly business, and they want to get that gold medal. They want to get good marks out there.
exactly. It's all about business. Just what you just said. That's what
Hmm.
it is about. You can
Hmm.
separate that. It's hard for people to do, but you can separate that, and they
Hmm.
do.
Yeah. The men's 110-meter hurdles, Joe, that was on today as well. And
Yes, yeah, Broadbell. She's running 13:14. That was also a season best for him, and he won it.
mhm,
Yep, he won it very easily. That's so one that
and
I
it,
got to hear. I mean, because remember I was at work, so I'm in and out of my office, but I followed it on the on the website. But
mhm,
yeah, I thought he looked good, but um, he's got to there's going to be a lot of competition when it comes into the when we get into the world championships. So
mhm. And Broadbelt, has always, you know, stepped up and performed to expectation. Unfortunately for him, at in Paris, I think it was in Paris. No, it wasn't in Paris. It was in
when
Budapest that he
he
was unable to finish because he
yeah,
got hurt, I think, in the semifinals.
exactly, yes.
But outside of
And
that, he's always been in the mix and always, put himself in as a very, very serious medal contender.
I think he has the capability. I mean, just today showed you he ran pretty much by himself in that race. It was over early, pretty much, and then
Hmm.
and there weren't many mistakes in that race.
Hmm.
Not many clipped hurdles or anything like that. So yeah, in the end. Um, I like where he's going too. Everybody that ran today from Jamaica, I like the direction they're going in. A lot of season best. We have a world leader right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure that wasn't expected because a lot of it was about Shelly coming in. A lot of the interviews, she's ready, whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, um,
Before we talk a little bit, before we touch on that 100, Joe, let me get let's get some of the comments out of the way, because of course we have fans who is always
of
tuning to
course.
our live
Hmm.
broadcast, our live interaction, and all in the game has been here with us all the time. Even when all in the game is alone watching, always commenting. Fourth, 11.05, a season best behind Tia, 1092, Tina, 1103, and Hunt, 1103, which is also a PB, suggests that those screaming a few days ago for Shelly have to run anchor leg at World Relays are clueless. So, what we're basically hearing here is that based on Shelley's time, 11.05, which is a season best, those persons who are saying, hey, Shelley should be on the anchor leg, we're hearing now, no, those persons are clueless. Continue to drop your comments. We'll read as much as possible, as much as you we'll read as much comments as possible, and all in the game is saying again, it's clear she shouldn't have been the lead off, like Dina Asha Smith, or Dina, for the team GB last year, and nowhere anchor. Same for Sharika. Jamaica women's 4x1 should be Shelly, Tina, Sharika, and Tia. That is what we are getting. And as I tell you, Joe, all in the game. It's always in the game, because that is where we are getting most of the comments from. And Chopra finally threw 90 meters in the javelin and ends up losing to Weber, who ends up throwing 91. So that was another big performance. And Anderson Peters of Grenada, as many of our fans would know, that Track Alerts is also um, the place for news for not only Jamaica, but Jamaica and the wider Caribbean. And as I said, we continue to read some of the comments. Can't wait for the triple jump goat Rojas to make a return to the event. And of course, we know Rojas skipped the Olympic last year, and we're hoping that she'll be back this year. And Joe, you should know this person who is making this comment, Coaches Dex.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, heal up the man them, heal up the man them.
Respect my brother. Yes,
Yes,
man.
and Coach is just saying he was good today, and I assume he may be talking about broad belt, because that's the person we were talking to about the last time before we switched to reading some comment. Daniel Roberts started well, then started hitting hurdles, was all over the place. You know, Cunningham and Murray have looked the best this year so far. And of course, as I said, we're just reading some of the comments, because without our viewers, Joe, we are nothing. Saw him
Of
cutting his
course.
speed though. He seems to be very fast. So it's for him to control it. That's coming from coach's desk again. And coach's desk also reminding us he didn't hit any hurdles. So, Joe, you were talking about the women's 100 meters today and the performances of the Jamaicans. Tell us more.
No, I don't. I. I mean, the hype was all about because the interviews and everything leading up was Shelley, um, best shape, whatever. But I don't think it was a surprise that Clayton came across the line. And look, she came across in a world leading time. So, I think the fact that her sister came second might have been, I mean, that would be hard to call. But they were very close to going one, two, three, if you look at it. Very,
Hmm.
very close.
All
But
right.
I think all these top, these times everybody's getting season best. I think that's good, because it shows progress from the season. And I know the season was early about a month ago, but now we're getting into about mid seasons right now.
Hmm. All right, Joe. Yesterday they had a press conference just before today's meet, and Shelly and Fraser Price was one of those persons who spoke at the press conference, and she spoke about the form that she's in compare in training
Yes,
compared to what. Let us just
I
let
heard
us
that.
listen.
Yes.
Let us listen again what she said. Then we come back, talk about it, and hear what she said after the race. Let us listen to what she said before the race.
Yeah, for me, the last 2 years I've raced sparingly, so I really want to get back into that race sharpness. I really want to get back into some competitive races and really just kind of know where I'm at and how training has been going. Training has been fantastic by far. This has been the best year I've had in terms of training in the last 3 years. So I'm really looking forward to see, just the execution and really, just working on putting the race together tomorrow. And I think tomorrow is going to be special, and I'm really excited about that. Excited to have that competitive drive because, again, the last 2 years I have not raced much. And even though you're doing track for such a long time, you still need to be practicing your craft, and the best way to do that is to show up.
What do you take away from that, Joe? She's in the best training shape she has been in the last 3 years. She was going to deliver something special today. What do you
Well,
take away from
I
that?
I take away that if she felt like that, then she's probably been injury free, because obviously I really think that there's been some sort of nagging injury. But the fact that she's going to take, I think she felt very confident. But then that last interview when she conceded to the next generation, I mean, it was a totally different turnaround um, interview.
Let's hear what she said when she conceded to the next generation.
I would say the biggest change I've seen is that ownership, athletes, whether they're young or older athletes, really just owning their space and really showing up and not, really scared of whoever is in that race. And I think that's good for athletics when you know that, okay, the athletes are going to show up and they're going to dominate and they're going to do their best. Doesn't matter who is beside them or, in front of them or behind them. They're there to really stake their claim. And I think that's where you get good competition. That's where you get, just to see the individuals, their personalities, what they're made of. And I think that's very important in the sport, where when we just started, a lot of us, we were very shy. We were, timid. We were unsure of what we really wanted to do. But I think this generation of athletes that's coming out are really, they know who they are. They know what they want, and they're not afraid to actually say that. And I think that's inspiring.
They're
Well,
not
I just want
afraid.
to say, I think conceited was maybe not the good word. I think there's a lot of respect for that next generation, the way she was saying it. But when I first listened to it, I was like, I'm wondering if how her confidence is now against these young kids coming through. You know.
Mhm. And of course, she made it clear that when when she came into the sport, she was basically saying, um, she was a little bit, or she was more nervous, or she was more,
Shy and
wondering,
all that. Yeah.
shy, and wondering, how am I going to face these big names, or what is going to be like running against these big names. And now she's saying she's glad that this new generation, you know, is not thinking or feeling that way, and it's only good for the sport. And I really agree with her. Yes, it's really good
Hmm.
for the sport. But having heard what she said before and what to expect from her, having heard what she said about the next generation or the new generation coming now, you know it as I said, Shelly is what, 38 years old now. And
Hmm.
I mean, she's still in the game. And in track and field, I am not one of those persons who agree with fans calling for persons to retire. Allow them to run as long as they want to run. Because guess what, Joe? Um, they're not taking anybody's spot on a team. They're not taking anybody's place. You all have to turn up to your trials, and you will have to finish in the top three, possibly top two, or the top six to make the relay team. And if the youngsters, as they are, because Shelly would be um, the quote unquote mother for most of these um, sprinters running now. If they allow her to come and beat them, then she deserve her place in
Of
Tokyo
course,
or anywhere like anyone else. You
it's
know.
it's it's not a subjective sport. Everything's
hmm
determined on the track, just
And and
like
and
any
and,
kind
and
of individual
yeah,
sport. It's
and
determined in that arena.
and as a friend called me today and said to me, if these youngsters are still allowing Shelly and company, or Shelly and along with the older set, to be beating them, it means that Jamaica's track and field is going nowhere. And so
Right.
it's a good sign that these youngsters, Tina and Tia Clayton, may have just in their third year out of high school. And it's a good look that they can step into the ring. They can, put up a good fight. And as we would have seen today, Tia and Tina Clayton came out on top 1-2 to become the fastest twin, but 10.92 for a world lead was, one of those amazing run by Tia Clayton. And Joe, maybe as we talk
I
about,
I would have never thought that that would be the time at this time of the season. I mean,
yes,
I'm not surprised she maybe won, but the time.
yes, and then when you think about it too, Joe, and know when you said this time of the season, you even though we are in May, you are taking into consideration that the season goes up all the way until September when we
September.
have the yeah
Yep.
when so 10.92 at this time. Tina and Tia Clayton, Tina Clayton 11.02, 11.02 or 11.03. But Tia Clayton was the talk of the town. And, kudos, kudos to her. Let's hear again, coaches that's saying, I believe Shelly is referring to her health. And, coaches they say maybe
As
right.
far as feeling good,
Yeah,
and
the
yeah, because
best, the
that's
best
what I
she
was
has
saying.
felt.
Yes, Minty, that's what I
And
was saying. Is because when she said that comment, I took it as
mhm,
that she hasn't she's been having nagging injuries for the last few years. So I
yeah,
really, yeah, I see what you're saying is absolutely true. Yep.
and coaches this is saying she seems to be injury free now compared
Yes.
to the last thing.
Yes.
Yeah, all in the game is saying re Jamaica female athletes who have yet to run in 2025. Where's Elaine? Where's Kevona? Where's Lene? Where's Janique? Where's Sharoki? Where's Janelle? Where's Kiara? What's going on the 25 form of Candice, Kemba, Brianna. Those are big questions for us all in the game. But some of these people, we have not seen them, and I don't know when we'll see them. Objectively, I love that tier one, but let's keep the 10.92 with a 2.0 positive win. And but we spoke about Tia, we spoke about the time she ran. She also spoke today after the race, Joe. Let us listen what she had to say.
I have Tia Clayton of Jamaica here with me after winning 100-meter women with the world leading mark 10:92. How does it sound to you? Did you expect to run so fast today?
Um,
Honestly, I didn't have a time in mind. I just came out here to just execute the race properly. Um, I didn't do that because I didn't get the start I always get. But otherwise from that, it was a great race.
How was it to run with Shelly-Ann? Because of course this is her last year on the circuit, and it's maybe special momentum for her and also for her opponent.
Well, I've run with her already, so this is actually not my first time running with her.
And we made the history today when we see name Clayton, the Clayton sisters on the first and second position. So is it somehow special for you and your family?
Well, it's very special to me to know that me and my sister can come out here back like what we used to do in high school and to execute and to just come out here to show the world what we are really made of.
You look a little bit tired, a little bit sad. Was it tough today, or you were just maybe a little bit nervous?
Uh, I wouldn't say nervous, but just a little shaky today. But if we get together in the end of the season.
We wish you good luck in the rest of the season and good times as well.
Thank you.
You heard that, Joe. She
Hmm.
didn't get the start she
Oh no,
always.
she did not get a start. No,
Yes.
she
Because
didn't.
Tina seems it seems as if Tina out in lane 8 got, a better start. Shelly was out good.
Shelly was very
Yeah.
out good, very good.
Shelly
Yeah.
was out good. Tina was out good. But then, Shelly basically fade away. When I watch,
Her speed maintenance phase isn't quite there yet.
yeah. And as we say, it's a very long season. So as you said, maybe
Hmm.
she's not even into speed work yet. Coach's desk could explain a lot
Yeah.
more, when it comes on to those kind of work and stuff like that. But I think it's time for us to hear what Shelly had to say after that race today.
We have Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce here after running 100-meter women, finishing on fourth position actually. So, what can you tell us about the race? Are you happy with it, or what did you learn?
Well, I have to go back and look, but it's been a while since I've competed in the, consistently. So I think, I'm glad that I finished healthy, which is good. So I thank God for that. I will just look forward to going back and building and coming for the next one.
After 6 years in Doha, what did you feel today? What was different for you?
Honestly, Doha is a great place to be. 2019, I won my World Championship here. I've came back here for a lot of different, Diamond Leagues. It has been fantastic. The atmosphere has been electric. The reception has been wonderful. So I'm excited that I was able to come back again.
At the press conference, you said that you're really having good training, you're in great shape. So where can we find your fitness at this moment?
That's not for me to say right now. It's a long season. So we'll just continue to work and just hope for the best.
Well, you're speaking about your motherhood quite often. So what is the biggest challenge for you now when it comes to competing and training, to juggle between those?
Pretty much the same thing, with anything you have to balance. Being a mom and being an athlete, definitely a balancing act. And just being present at different moments when you're required to be, and really just enjoying the moments when they come.
38-year-old Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, and she didn't want to say much, Joe, about how she thinks she is fitness wise after that run today. She spoke about it
She ta-
before.
she talked about consistency in her
Hmm.
races, though. That's what I
Yeah.
took out of that.
Hmm.
She hasn't run consistently, and she's right. But so let's see. She's talking about gonna run consistently. Let's see, because she has been sparse on the yeah, and I think that again could due to some of her um injuries, you know, and health. When I talk health, I mean injuries. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how much more she races and see what happens.
Hmm. And of course, that men's 200 meters, was won by Tib- Tebogo, and he, was, you know, played with it a bit because, at one point, you know, midway that straight away, he was looking to his right, and Lindsay. Lindsay was looking to his left and Tebogo, and it was basically just fun across the line. And as you can see there, it was very, very close. Tebogo in 20.12 and Lindsay in 20.11. They were both looking at each other. Tebogo may shut it down with about 40, 50 meters to go. What do you think? Did you see his race, Joe? Or
I did not see
Mhm.
that race because remember I was at work. At one point, you asked if I could come, and I couldn't.
Mm,
I was in and out of the office, so I didn't really see that, and I never went back because to look at it, and that's one thing. Well, now I'm looking at the results,
mhm.
but
While you look at the result, though, because we're wrapping up, we're on our time. We
yeah,
promised that we'll only go for half an hour. We're a little bit over half an hour, but let me play this interview with Tebogo today, and after that, we'll play the interview with the discus winner.
okay.
And yes,
I have Letsile Tebogo here with me, the winner of 200-meter man. Can you tell us? Can you take us through the race, Letsile? What happened, especially in the finish? You slow down, you relax in the finish.
I mean, it's all about enjoying the race, That was the main concept. That's why I came here. I told my coach that now, this is our first race. I have to enjoy it because once it gets tough throughout the season, I won't be able to enjoy, At least let me enjoy one race, and then I'll see how we do about the other ones.
But in the end, it was very close. You almost missed the win by 100 of a second. So, did you see that somebody's coming behind you?
I mean, I know my instincts. Not everybody has that power to see, that power to finish the race. I have to start what I can finish. If I can't finish, who's going to finish for me?
Some people were expecting the meeting record from you today, but I don't think it was your target, was it?
No, it doesn't matter because this is our first 200 meters of the season. But I believe next year the mid record is going to be gone. If they send the invitation my way, then I'll be glad to be here.
Well, you've run already 100 meters a couple of times now, 200. What can you describe your feelings with the 200 and 100? Where did you feel better?
I mean, so far this is our first 200 meters of the season. So I feel like this one is the start of many, and I'm deadly to start this strong. And I want to just finish this season on a high note. I have to send a few messages out there to the people that, I'm there, I'm somewhere there in the mix. They shouldn't be comfortable while I'm around.
People like Doha, but is there any special meeting you're really looking forward to run this season? Is there any special place?
I would say London and Monaco. Those are the two best diamond leagues that I've always looking forward to travel to, and also giving the people the great show.
Perfect. Thank you and enjoy the evening. We have Daniel Stahl here of Sweden after second place in Doha Diamond League. Daniel, can you take us through the competition a little bit? How did you feel in your first competition this year?
Yeah, it's amazing to be here. Great crowd. I didn't start so well in the first two throws, but then the 67 meter came in the third round, and then I tried to compete. And that was my goal for today. And I'm pretty happy with the second place. It's good Diamond League points.
You're very consistent with your performances, and I bet you had great preparation. Can you tell us a little bit more? How did you prepare for this long season?
Well, I've been training pretty hard this winter and this fall, and so I feel much better now than last year, so I'm excited for the season.
I'm sure you want to get another title in Tokyo. So what is your recipe to stay strong all the season?
No, just continuity, and just go hard and have fun and enjoy more than I used to do before, and then see how the other guys go. So I will try to do my best, and then we will see how it goes. Nej, men det är helt underbart. Alltså, jag kolla atmosfären här inne. Det är magiskt att vara här inne verkligen och tävla. Nej, men det är kul att vara tillbaks. Alltså, jag är inte så nöjd riktigt med tävlingen idag ändå. Alltså, det är ändå bra Diamond League-poäng, 67 meter. Men jag känner att jag kom igång där efter tredje omgången. Liksom, sådär. Så att, men det kommer bli förhoppningsvis bättre.
well, there you have it, Joe. It was a great day, great day
It was.
in
It was.
Doha.
And then
And
tomorrow You got a big day with all the finals races in the conference and the college NCAA. Gonna be huge.
Okay.
I've been following that a lot of the day too. So I've been split my time with everything. So
And tomorrow also we'll have the Adidas Atlanta City Games
hmm
in, Piedmont Park in Atlanta. And
oh, that's right
several
too. Yes.
several
Yes.
Jamaicans will be there. Akira Nugent, Daniel Williams.
hmm
I'd see. I went there today to the training
I
session
remember.
with the
Yes.
athletes.
Yes.
And Demish Gay was there. Brian Level was there. Kadrian Golson was there. You know, several Jamaicans. I may be missing some. Kerry McLeod should be there. Noah Lyles is down to compete, may not compete. I don't know if he will. I wouldn't be surprised if he don't. I know he's in Atlanta. So we have another great event to look forward to tomorrow. And you already told us that all the championships, the conference championships, are on tomorrow. The SEC is normally the big one, Joe.
hmm
Any expectation from the SEC before we go?
Yeah, you've got a lot. I was looking at one of uh Dejane from Georgia is up there in that 400, and we got a lot of even the ACC. Clemson, Clemson's coming with a lot of power. Uh,
Mhm.
they have a
Wilson,
lot of Jamaicans on that team.
Anika Wilson is one of those persons to look out for in
Yes,
the
that's
hurdles.
that's my that I follow her. That's my favorite because I've been following her all year and getting interviews with her. So she's right now sitting very well to win it.
Hmm.
And then we'll see what happens in the out in Eugene. But yeah, that's a good one. And then you got some other ones. The Big Sky Conference has what's his name? The hurdler from Northern Colorado. Um, Very good hurdler. He was second in the NCAA in indoor. So there's a lot of Jamaicans that are gonna um, come through and be at the championships in Eugene. So
On the championships in Eugene, NCAA's. Do you
hmm
remember the date? I think that maybe about the second weekend in June, maybe.
it's the second week. I think the first day is a Wednesday. It goes all the way through. The indoor championships were only over 2 days, but
Hmm.
this goes over 4 days. More events, a lot, more qualifiers. So
Hmm. And thank you, Joe, for joining us.
no
Thanks
problem.
to thanks to
Thank you for
the
having me.
viewers.
Thank you for having me.
Sure, and we'll have to do this more often, Joe.
Of course.
Thanks to the viewers for tuning in, for staying with us for almost 40 minutes.
And
Thank
big
you
up
very much.
coach's desk.
Big up coaches, that's all the time. Big up yourself, all in the
Yes,
game,
man. Respect,
and
respect every time.
mhm, and for all those who would have contributed. So until we do
Yes.
this
All that
again,
continues.
we hope to be back with our viewers and our fans, and continue the interaction and continue to give you our opinion from this end. So until then, thank you. Thank you and have a great night.
Yes, man. Respect. Lick more.